Hello everyone, this is Rowan from TCB. I'm sure most of you are wondering why I didn't put out a video yesterday, considering the item dupe bug and just the large amount of drama that was surrounding it. The short answer is I wanted to give the devs time to respond, and they have, and their response is what we're going to talk about today. But first we're going to set up with a little bit of backstory on the exploit itself, that way everybody who may not have read into this too much is caught up. So what we know about this bug turned exploit is that it began on November 14th after a server maintenance. Something in the maintenance caused an issue with the game, allowing players to duplicate items through different means. And you can see on the screen some pictures that show the item duplication. Now this is obviously a huge issue in a game that's monetized in the way the Second Galaxy is. It messes with the overall balance of certain players and as well as the entire market itself. Now this happened at a time right after VB, where people are already really upset with the developers over the compensation that occurred there, GE using their system cap exploits, and it was just generally a PR mess for them. Now we do finally have their response, and I'm not going to read the whole thing to you. I will put a summary on the screen for you and then a link to the Reddit down below. There are just some key points I do want to touch on. The first one is that they are refunding the war costs for XC5 and doing the same thing they did for VB, which is excellent. That is definitely something that had to be done. It shows that exploiting system cap is not okay, which is awesome to hear. And they've also released their fix for it, and I've been talking with them about that as well. I think it's a good idea. It's definitely better than nothing at the current second. I'll make a video probably the next day explaining that fix and how it works, but there's a link on the Reddit to look at that in more detail. The next thing, and one of the most important things, is they have banned the people that they have found using the item duplication exploit. Here's a list of the wall of shame of people that were using it. They have taken the market items off the market and done their best to limit the damage done by them so far. Of course, it's an ongoing investigation into actually how much damage was done to the market. We can assume, at least from the 14.4, the market has been influenced by these duplicated items, and there's not too much they can do about that at this point, as most of them have been bought and sold or destroyed. There's really nothing to be done about that. It's not fair, but it's also not fixable, so we're not going to focus on things that we can do nothing about. The next thing is that they did in fact refund capital ships to other pilots that were affected by the capital ship super device bug, so that's really good that these guys got their ships back and the corps were refunded for it. And they go on to say that they didn't handle these situations very well at all, and that they apologize for how they were handled. So at this point, I really do honestly want to thank the devs for listening to the feedback from the player base and doing these. I know some people will say, well, everybody was going to quit. They were forced to do this, but even still, they made a lot of money on this game. They didn't have to do this, and there's a lot of bigger developers out there that wouldn't have done this, wouldn't have apologized, and really wouldn't have done anything. It's honestly nice to see, like, our feedback does amount to something. Now, I know there's a lot of people on Facebook and Reddit, and they're calling for more action to be taken, specifically against GE. I can't say I really can support any of that. Not every person in GE was using this exploit. Not every person in GE even understood what was going on. So taking away their SOV or otherwise punishing an entire alliance seems unfair, and I would be upset if it happened to me. That said, I do want to keep this video short, so I'm going to be wrapping it up here with one final thank you to the devs, and I'd like to urge the community to continue to support the game and to continue to, find issues and let the devs know so they can fix them. It was our feedback that shaped the developer response to this. We should be proud as a community that we were outspoken enough to actually make changes in a game, and that those changes benefited everybody that plays the game. So with that, I'm going to wrap up this video for today, and as always, fly dangerous.